Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new series. This is something I've been meaning to do for a while, so I'm really glad that I can actually start it. So this is a series where I'm going to take you behind the scenes of how I do things. So this series is going to be a little different to most of my other series because it's going to be pre-planned and scripted. There's not going to be a set time or date when these will be released, just whenever I'm able to put something out and get it put together, and they'll come out on a Sunday when I do. So if you enjoy this, let me know, and let me know what other behind the scenes stuff you'd like to see next. So sit back and strap in for the first episode. Hey guys, and welcome to today's BTS, and in this first episode I will be taking you behind the scenes of how I make Pokemon pixel art in Minecraft. This has been something people have commented on and wanted to know about ever since I started making pixel art all those years ago, back when I wasn't very good at it. So before we get into it, I just want to say that the process I use for Pokemon is very different from the process I use for the massive pixel art, so if you'd like to see how I do the massive pixel art, I can do a video on that as well. So first things first, I work out which Pokemon I'm actually doing and get the reference image. GIMP's a great free program to use for this sort of thing. I've got 5 sprite sheets, each with a generation of Pokemon on it. If you're looking to do something like this, I'd recommend trying to get one sprite sheet to cover what you're wanting to make. When I started making Pokemon, I was originally only going to make the first generation of Pokemon, and so I only got the sprite sheet for that. I added the other generations later down the line, so hence why there's a bit of a size discrepancy between the generations. Once I've got my sprite selected, next comes color matching and shading to suit Minecraft. I head on to Bulbapedia because it's got a great section which describes what the Pokemon looks like, and I use this to help simplify the colours on the sprite. Minecraft's only got a limited colour palette without adding mods, so I find it helpful to simplify the sprite before I build. Now I personally like to make my sprites look like it came from the cartoon while still being in sprite form. So to do this, I start by giving everything a black outline. I also use Google Images while I'm doing this to make sure I'm not adding outline where it doesn't belong. After outlining, I begin colour simplifying. I find that most sprites have a lot of shading on it that just isn't possible to reproduce in Minecraft without it looking unusual. So I try to limit most colours on sprites to do different shades. There are some exceptions to this depending on the size of the Pokemon and how many of those colours that Minecraft has. If the sprite's very small, then the shading looks better, and vice versa for larger sprites. Also, outside of primary colours, Minecraft lacks in block options, so you've got to work with that as well. As soon as I'm happy with the shading, I may colour the background to help distinguish between white body parts and what used to be white background. Now that the sprite is all done with the editing process, it's time to create a colour palette in Minecraft. So here I organise every block that I'm going to use in the build. I like to work this out fully before starting, and sometimes I have to play around with how colours look with other colours to try and match the gap in shades properly. Now comes time to start building. I zoom the image in to be larger and to easily see the individual pixels. Normally about 3200% is my working zoom. I set my Minecraft window over the sprite image to show only the line I'm working on and the line below it. This way I'm not so concerned in getting the exact number of blocks right, but making sure that everything fits together. So what I mean is I will place one colour block until I see in the sprite image that the colour changes, and base that on the line below. A lot of the time I'm really poor at counting, so what I create is not a block by block replica of the sprite used, and it doesn't need to be. I'll work in a typewriter fashion for block placing. Starting at the bottom, I add line upon line, working left to right, then right to left. There's no particular special trick for this part, just find a way that works for you and go with it. Patience is really all you need for this part, and some good tunes always help too. I normally won't look at the overall build until a good portion has been done. Colours normally don't look right until at least about a third of the sprite is done, so if you check after that and the colours seem way too wrong, now is a good time to change it up and to try a different block. Occasionally, like in this build, I'll place and colour and automatically it looks wrong. If that's the case, then change it straight away. Other than that, it's all about patience. And here's the finished product, a completed Snorlax. Sandblocks are a pain to build with because if you misclip, they just drop to the ground. The final thing I'm do once I'm happy with the whole sprite and I've checked it over is I cross that sprite off my sprite sheet. Ideally one day I'm going to finish all 5 generations of Pokemon. So I hope you've enjoyed, I hope you've learned something from this. This is the way I make my sprites. Doesn't mean you have to do it this way too, but it might give you some ideas on how to get started with this sort of building in Minecraft. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and I'll see you all in the next behind the scenes.